Welcome back to NutriSmart Podcasting, where I get to do fun things like talk about some of the best initiatives that I see to inspire you all to think a little bit differently about maybe the opportunity to power up your program with produce. We are happy to have Cleveland Municipal School Districts with us today. Can't wait to talk to them. Welcome everyone to our podcast. Today, we're sitting with partners in school nutrition, diving into actionable inspiration to provide you not only ideas, but strategies for success. I'm your host, Maureen Pasonic, and I'm thrilled to explore this topic with you and with some of our school nutrition friends. Hi, it's
Hello.
So nice to have you here with us.
Good to be here today.
Ms. Christine Sapovita, you have a big job, my friend. 22 schools.
23, actually.
23 schools
Yes.
in Cleveland Municipal School District. So our biggest urban anchor school here in Northeast Ohio. You come to this from a passion of working with school. Tell me what makes you tick? What brought you to CMSD and how did you get into this role?
So I originally started about almost 20 years ago. I was a cafeteria manager for Pascagoula-Goshen School District in Mississippi, where I lived for 10 years. Never in a million years would I thought I would love being in school nutrition, but I moved down there. It was the first job I got and fell in love with it. Of course, the most important part is the kids.
Yeah.
They love you. You love them. They come in. You make their day. They love you because you don't give them homework. You feed them good food and they go on about their day. So that's how I started, and then moved back to Ohio about 8 years ago and saw the job for the area supervisor for Cleveland Metropolitan School District and said, hey, let me take my chances. Here I am, and I love what I do daily.
Oh.
I love my team. I love the kids. I love feeding them. I love seeing them eat nutritious foods and trying new things. So this is my passion.
I love it. I love it. And I love that having conversations with people that actually get to do this day in and day out really makes a difference. You know, a lot of folks think about what happens in schools and they want to do things. The new dietary guidelines for Americans came out in 2026 here.
Yes.
And, you know, one of the biggest things that schools try to do is encourage kids to eat whole foods.
Yes.
And so that's a challenge. It's a challenge because we have a volume of food to move in a quick amount of time. It's a challenge because we have staff maybe that need to be trained on what to do with whole food versus heating and serving. So one of the things you have as a challenge, but an opportunity that you embrace, and certainly, you know, the leadership at CMSD has really prioritized a focus on produce bars. And I just want to, first of all, thank you. I commend you because I think, you know, growing up in inner city Cleveland, going to inner city Catholic schools, you know, a lot of the people I saw, some of the best meals they got were in their cafeteria spaces. And a lot of our babies don't always have the opportunity to have all the fresh produce items brought to them, cut up for them, served to them with color and excitement. So talk to me a little bit about how many schools, I know you guys are on a mission and you guys have started and you continue to put these lovely produce bars filled with a rainbow of fresh fruits and vegetables in your produce bars. How many produce bars does CMSD have currently?
So we currently have about 33 in our schools right now, and we are getting ready to implement 10 more by the beginning or middle of April.
Wonderful. Strategic, plugging away, getting the grant funding, all of the things. I know it's from funding, but also staffing. Talk a little bit about how CMSD, I know you are working as an area supervisor. So talk a little bit about that process of how you get that initial purchase order organized, get that produce bar put together. Talk a little bit about that. I think that's one barrier I think we can help break down today is like, it's doable, right?
Yes. So I started with CMSD in 2022. At that time, they were in the middle of getting grants for the salad bars now. So we started a few back in 2022. We did about 3 or 4 then. And then within the last year, we've gotten more grants for about, I believe, 20 to 25 more salad bars. So what happens with that process is we get the grant. Then the bars are delivered to our central kitchen, where the guys at Central Kitchen, they're super great, love them. They're a great bunch of guys that do pretty much anything we need them to do. So once they receive those bars, they take them out of the boxes, they build them, they put them together. We as area supervisors, there's 3 other supervisors, including myself, we go down the list of schools that say, okay, this school either can use the salad bar, or it can't be, depending on, where it can be placed. Do they have a 3-compartment sink or not? So those are some of our barriers. Sometimes we're not able to move equipment to where we need the bar to be. So, we go out there and we say, hey, can we move this down, or where can this go? And sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. It just depends on the school and the way the structure is. So then we combine a list of schools that we believe would benefit from these salad bars. And then we make a list. We say, okay, we're going to do this one this week. We're going to do this one this week. 2 of us go out to the schools. We get the principals involved. We have meetings with the principals and say, hey, this is what's coming to your school. This is when it's coming. We sit down with our school nutrition staff and we do the training from beginning to end. The day before we do the salad bar, 2 area supervisors will go out and we'll help them cut up everything, put everything together, show them how everything is supposed to go on the bar. We get the kids excited about it coming. We even have some school nutrition employees that make like signs and they dress up as fruit and like they make this big party out of it. Like they do a really big, our employees are like super. And we just, we try to make it as fun for them as we can, but we, educational piece, we make sure that they know the correct servings that the students are supposed to get. So we just try to get everybody involved to get the kids excited about trying new items.
Oh, I love this. So I would just want to highlight, because you just said a lot.
Yes.
So the first thing, you get the grants. So you have your administration working on funding. And once that funding becomes available, you lean into your internal team. So you have this great central process where you're perhaps custodial maintenance, or they work in food service, the muscle. They unbox it, they build it, and then you guys are ready to deploy it.
Yes.
So that's awesome. So I think a lot of times folks that are thinking about a produce program get overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. Well, first of all, I got to buy it. So if a fund isn't available or you don't have a spend down plan, there are grants available.
Yes.
And then if you're worried about the actual physicality of getting it and putting it together, phone a friend. I know a lot of schools have great maintenance and custodial departments or people within their department that are able to actually work on getting the pieces, parts, the physical setup of that structure. You also brought up the idea of being proactive and mindful about the planning infrastructure. So a lot of times folks will say, well, I don't know where I'd put a salad bar. Yes. So, I know a lot of folks that when they're implementing these programs have in their nice little pocket a little tape measure, and they're like trying to figure out what's on casters, what's not on casters. So there is some proactive planning, even just the physical layout of your line and your serving to kind of optimize where things fit most safely and where it works the best for students. So kind of like the strategic stepping through the process. What you said about that, I mean, I think when people say, where do I start? That's a good, where do you start, right?
Yes.
But that it can't end there, because you said something very, very important. In the supervisor and the administrative role, you can buy a salad bar and you could put it there, but you take it one step further and you actually hand in hand support your staff.
Absolutely.
So let's start there, the staff education. So when you are, and this is no dig on anybody, when you go from pulling out foil wrapped applesauces and cups and things that are already coming, where you just open a box and put it out there, it changes the dynamic of the workforce a little.
It does.
So talk a little bit about how you empower your staff. I love that you say they dress up and they're excited to do this, but I think that starts with your leadership. So talk to us a little bit about how you lead that change in terms of staff engagement.
So we all, like I said, we have a great team. Our director, Robinette, she always comes out every fruit and veggie bar we have. She comes out and she supports and she makes sure that everything is going correctly. She encourages us. She encourages the staff, walks through with the kids just like we do. And as far as the staff, we tell them that this is not going to be a difficult process. They think because you have to cut up celery, because you have to cut up broccoli, cauliflower, and put it out there, that this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. And some of the barriers that we've had to overcome are we're short-staffed. We don't have enough time. Once we actually go out there and we show them how simple it is to do it, and it's actually less time-consuming than taking bagged or, a pound of carrots and rinsing them off and putting them in a sandwich bag or whatever to put out on the line for the students, they're like, oh, we didn't know that this was going to happen. Then when you see the kids come through the line, they're like, oh, wow, this is great. And for the salad mix, we encourage them, because we have sweet peppers on our line. We have broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, tomatoes. We encourage them to make it appealing for the students. So They come through the line. If I had students say to me, I've never tried a sweet pepper, but they'll see it in the salad and it's sliced and it looks pretty, and they'll try it and they're like, oh, these are not bad. So for us, presentation and positivity is like the most important thing.
I love that.
We just love to encourage them. And, sometimes they'll say, no, I don't want that. I'm never going to try it again. But for the most part, they'll say, well, I tried it. It's not for me. Or they'll come and say, hey, I've never had this in my life. This is great. I love it. Thank you for, encouraging us to try it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're powering up your produce bar by investing in the people that have to produce it.
Correct.
Yes, right?
Because they're the ones that are there with the students every day.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody wants to do work and find it in the trash can.
No.
So I love that you guys are taking the appropriate steps to build confidence, provide education on how you can do it and do it safely, cutting, chopping. I'm sure you guys are using quick back of the house techniques and trainings to make sure your staff feel confident in that process. But we know that students eat with their eyes. And I think I love tapping into that creative energy where people that used to just kind of feel like, oh, I just put food out for the kids, are actually creating a visual, beautiful, artistic, if I will go so far as to say, rainbow of produce that kids are excited about. And that's where you, in my opinion, and I think you're echoing this, and I just want to tell people, if you're afraid to start doing a produce bar, give folks the right education, the training, work with them, get them the setup, the layouts, but ultimately that process becomes rewarding because they're proud of what they're serving.
Yes.
And the kids are giving them positive feedback. So when you're looking at ways to empower your staff to feel good about creating and cooking, or going back now, the new dietary guidelines say whole foods. So a lot of us, even though our kitchens might need a lot of love and a lot of new equipment, our goals really are to really get back to where whole foods can be the center of not only the produce bar, but what we serve kids. And I know CMSD has a lot of goals relative to cooking more from scratch and using less processed foods. But the produce bar was where you guys shine and where you're starting to really see that momentum take off.
Yes.
I love this. Now, again, we have the team, we have the money, we have the staff, but it's not nutrition unless they eat it. Tell me a little bit about how CMSD has taken the time and the care to expose children to fresh produce and really try it with them and get them to be little happy consumers through the produce line.
So we have taste testings that we actually go out into the schools and we introduce like the sun gold tomatoes, the sweet peppers. Some of our schools have the lettuce towers. I'm sorry, I forget what they're called.
Hydroponic
yes,
towers.
Thank you.
Yep,
It just completely slipped my mind. I'm sorry. So we have lettuce that we grow, and they go out and the students actually grow it themselves, and they're excited because when it grows, they're actually able to try it and taste it, and they're like, "Oh, this tastes." Sometimes it tastes better. Sometimes they say, "Oh, this tastes like leaves" or whatever. But at least they're excited about because I grew this. This is something that I created, and now I get to try it. And then when we do the fruit and veggie bars, they're like, "Oh, I remember the day that we did the taste testing, or when I grew the lettuce, and now it's on the fruit and veggie bars." So they get excited about that. So we do educational pieces like that. And like I said, when we go out to do the trainings, we also let them know, we give them a booklet on training. These are the items that will be placed on the bar. These are how we're going to mix them together and make them just look colorful. Like you said, the rainbow.
Sure.
We mix our carrots with our celery. We mix the celery or the cucumbers with the tomatoes. In our spring mix, it has the leafy greens, and it also has the purples. We slice up our mini peppers. We put it on top of there. We put the cucumbers on there. When we're able to order strawberries and blueberries, we mix the oranges and the strawberries and the blueberries together like a fruit salad. And the kids love it.
Oh,
like their eyes just pop open and they're like, wow, we have this at our school now. And so they're really excited about it.
That's what we do it for, right?
Yes. And that's where we shine at. When we see the smiles on their faces, that's why we come to work every day.
Oh, I love that. And so you've built this real culture around a sense of community by investing in quality, and produce makes that possible. You all have a mission statement, and it's on your shirt: plant, nourish, and grow.
Yes.
I think having a guiding light, a guiding pillar, like planting not only the seeds of success with doing something with whole produce, but the training aspects, the exposure pieces, and then nourishing that and not letting it just be a one-time thing. I mean, I think you guys have established this is a goal throughout your school year. You use seasonal fruits and vegetables, as you said, when you're able to get things.
Correct.
And you have seen the growth of this program happen. Tell me one aha moment you personally have had throughout this process of working in CMSD to see this process through.
So for me, and I think I speak for all the area supervisors, the biggest aha moment for us is when we go into our schools and we say, okay, guys, you're getting this fruit and veggie bar on this day. And they're like, no, we can't do it. We don't have enough staff. We're not here enough hours. It's too much work. How are we going to do all this? And we explain we're going to be there every step of the way. Whatever you need, we're going to be there for you. And like I said, we go in the day before, we do all the training, we help them, we support them the day of. If we need to go a couple of days after to help support, we do that. And once they actually see it on the line and see how easy it is, they're like, oh, this is so much easier. And this does not take as much time as we thought it did. And they'll actually come. I've had my employees come and say, thank you for letting my school get this, because the students enjoy it. The staff enjoy seeing the kids come through. Administrative staff will come up to and say, this is like the best thing for our kids. Thank you guys for all your support. And it's just like, aha, see, now you see it's not that difficult. You can do it. So that's the aha moment for us.
I love that. And, it starts at the top. It starts at, the leadership being willing to apply for that grant. It starts at the top of, our department leads helping us deploy it. But it also starts with you all infusing that positivity. And you said that. It's this positivity lens that you help create, not only for the employees that see this as a meaningful work, impactful work, and then you see the kids smiling and being able to have things that they might not get other places and try new things like I've never seen that or I've never tried that. Yes. And so that whole idea of your mission statement where you're planting and you're nourishing and you're growing, I just love that you have that passion, and it really does show. It shows out. If you had one bit of advice to give to somebody that would say, how did you break down that barrier when that person said, I don't know if I'm going to want to do this? Is it just showing up? Well, what would you say would be one bit of advice if someone says, I love this story, Maureen, it sounds great and CMSD is doing a great job, but I don't see my school being able to do this. Give me one thing you would say to challenge their thinking on that.
So I would just encourage them to don't knock it until you try it, because there have been many things that we have faced as CMSD as what we thought were barriers that we have overcome as a team. And for me, the most important part is working with a great team that is willing to help out whenever we need it. And we all care about our employees. Like, no joke, we all go home, we all worry about them. Just being there to support them and encouraging them and letting them know, hey, if you are feeling any kind of way about this, if you have any questions, let us know. We're here to support you. Whatever the barriers, we're going to get through this together. You're not alone, and we're not going to leave you out there hanging. So just, I believe, like encouragement and Teamwork. Just showing up, being there and actually getting, I hate to say it this way, but getting down and dirty with them and doing the work with them. Because sometimes people think as supervisors or directors that we don't do that. But like I said, we have a great team. We go out there and we will get in there. We'll wash dishes. We'll cut up items. We'll do whatever we need to do to encourage our staff, because we want them to be happy about coming to work every day. We want them to be excited. We want them to get the children excited. And when our staff is excited and the kids see that, they'll return that to us.
I love that. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's not just a good...
It sounds cheesy, but it works.
I'm going to say it works.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this has been such an inspiring conversation. Tell me, when you were a student, what was your favorite lunch and why?
Oh gosh. I would have to say it was it was the greasy pizza and the French fries.
That's all right.
Every Friday we would have it, and that was the best meal.
Comfort and familiarity.
And then you take the mayonnaise and the ketchup and you dip it in your fries. It's the best. The kids do the ranch with the pizza now, but that wasn't my thing. But I would have to say every Friday that was my best meal.
But I will say, next to that pizza or next to that whatever you would imagine might not be healthy, when you come through a CMSD lunch line, you're faced with so many fresh fruit and vegetable choices, and you are able to leave that with, that vision of the dietary guidelines. You got your center of the plate and your protein and your grain, but you have this whole opportunity to fill your plate and your day with wonderful produce. Thank you for the work you do, the leadership you do, not only for the students of CMSD, but in mentoring others that will listen to this podcast and maybe start their own produce bar. I think your light is shining bright today in all the work you're able to accomplish. And I wish nothing but the best for the rest of the Deployed program. And I know it's going to be coming more salad bars, more cooking. We appreciate you being here today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Awesome.